Here we go. Siteman Softball Podcast rolling solo today. Rolling solo. But a lot to discuss. Hanging out here. Let me make sure we're all set up here. My voice is a little scratchy today, so I got to be drinking a bunch of water. But let me share this in a few different spots here. Riding solo today. Here we go. Let's share that as usual with the boys in Facebook Messenger. There we go. Awesome. And we are off to the races here in a second. A lot to discuss. Let me get the UTrip website up. I'm going to show you a couple things here today on the episode. Let me get that all organized. This is kind of the show before the show. You get to see how the sausage is being made, if you will. And then we'll hop into it. Let me go to my USSSA page here. Bring up some teams in a little bit. We'll talk rumors too about, the deadline is coming for Conference USSSA. We will see how many teams Conference USSSA will get to this year. We will see. Right now, it's about 23, 24. We'll do a little count on that here coming up here today on this episode of the Siteman Softball Podcast. So come say hi, say hello, hop on in. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Coming on a little bit early today. Got some stuff to do this afternoon. We've got basketball practice tonight. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. I forgot about that. I don't know. Who really cares about Valentine's Day? Not me. We've always said Valentine's Day, it's too close to our anniversary. It's March 5th. So, you know what? Let's just, roll it into there, right? All right. Few items here before we get started. First of all, this is episode 70 of the Siteman Softball Podcast. Appreciate you joining, regardless of where you're watching or listening to this podcast. Actually adding some more destinations for this podcast up on sitemansoftball.com/podcast. So now we're in 20 plus different locations. You can watch on Facebook, on my Facebook, facebook.com/David Garland. You can watch on Siteman Softball Nation on Facebook. We're working on getting on Instagram for the Instagram lives. Siteman Softball on Instagram. Let's see, where else? We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're on Amazon Music. We're on everything. So check it out. Sitemansoftball.com/podcast. It's where you can find out all the info, the juicy, delicious info on where to watch. Now, another note here, as well as we get started, a few different things, a few different housekeeping items, and then we'll get at it. One is, if you haven't checked it out yet, and Brent McClure is our guinea pig with this one, I'm going to be doing some little text interviews with the boys, with the Siteman Pure boys, and just to kind of, ask some behind-the-scenes questions, create a little more content for you guys up online. And so you'll be checking those out. They're going to be on my Facebook, so facebook.com/David Garland, also on the Siteman Softball Nation Facebook page, and also on Instagram at Siteman Softball. So doing some interviews. You can check out the first one with Brent McClure, and asking questions about his background, his Conference USSSA background, most memorable moments in softball, talk about hitting, talk about bats, all that kind of good stuff. You can check out with these interviews, and we're going to kind of have those going. I'm not sure exactly, what order we're going to go into, but we're going to get those with most of the boys as best we can here as we roll. Also, today's episode is brought to you by the Siteman Cancer Center. We appreciate their support, and actually coming soon, I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after, probably somewhere in there, we're going to have an additional sponsor here on the Siteman Softball Podcast. It's going to be sponsoring a new segment that we're calling Topic of the Week. So Topic of the Week, we have a new sponsor that's coming, a big sponsor that's going to be joining us on the podcast, and we appreciate their support. So I'll let you guys know about that coming up over the next couple of weeks. We'll have some love for them as well, supporting the podcast, supporting Siteman Softball, supporting softball in general, right? So pretty cool stuff. Big company, I can tell you that, and that's cool. We're looking forward to that coming up here on the podcast. Now, that's the business end of that. Let's get that all out of the way. Into talking a little bit about what we're looking at in terms of amount of conference teams for this year. So I want to see if I can share my screen here in a second. I'm going to kind of roll through. Now, realize this is kind of funny as you check this out, as you check out this, what I'm going to show you. Some people, I think, accidentally. Some people signed up twice, and I'm talking about as not paying. I'm talking about signing up online so that their team is listed as a conference team. So we're going to try to decipher that. And what I'd love to hear from you guys during this episode is let me know about more teams that you know are joining, right? Are there more teams that are signed up that have not joined? Now, we're getting close to the deadline. The deadline is just a few weeks away. And the deadline is paperwork and money in and ready to go, right? So until then, everyone's just a rumored team. Until you actually sign up, it's just a rumor. Because every year, there's people, they're going to have a conference team there or not, whatever. There's always going to be some surprise ones we're not thinking about. There's always going to be some returning teams that sign up late. That's just the way it goes. But we're getting close to that deadline. So if you know a team that is not signed up that is going to be signing up, let me know. Or a team that was signing up that is not signing up. That'd be interesting as well. Any intel that you guys have, let me know as well. All right, let me see if I can bring up my screen here, and I'm going to kind of go through. And like I said, what I'm going to show you on the screen and what we're going to talk about, some of these people are not signed up in the right category. So we'll talk about that as well, okay? All right, so let's do share screen. Awesome. Allow. Great. You can see that. Super meta. All right, now we're on USSSA website. By the way, the website, which again, I still like the old one way better, but one thing that's kind of cool that you could do is you could go up here to filters, which I did, and I just filtered in teams that are signed up for 2023 that are listed as major, AA, Conference A, or Conference B. Okay, that's how I went in and made this little list of teams. Now, there are 28 teams listed here. There are not 28 teams that are actually signed up for conference. There's more about 23, 24, because some people accidentally clicked the wrong button. Some people clicked it twice. As you can see here on the screen, one team is on here twice. I don't think they have two conference teams, but we'll talk about that. All right. So first of all, a team that just signed up, put their roster up about a day or two ago, was Nitro Circus. So we go right here, Nitro Circus AA team. I'm not going to go through every single team's roster or anything. Just this is kind of interesting when there's a new one. Recognize some names here. Of course, Chris Greinert. You've got Nick Day. You've got Chad Erickson, Jared Hunt, Josh Brown, Emerson Marquez, Zach Messer, Eric Canopy, Sean Jones, Woodrow Darling, and other guys as well. I'm just kind of paraphrasing this team. So that's a AA team. Be interested to hear what you guys have to say about them. What's your take on Nitro Circus AA? By the way, if I click this, it's going to end up going back to my other screen. Let me see if I can figure this out here. 1 second. I have an idea, because right now it's super meta, right? So if I go back to me, hang on a second. Let's see what I've done here. Lord knows. I have created a meta universe of screen sharing, which I will figure out in a little bit. All right, let's just get back to what we're talking about here. So Nitro Circus AA. Then we've got the Van Wert Frickers. I'd be interested to know who knows much about the Van Wert Frickers. First of all, that's a mouthful. They're from Ohio. I saw last year that they were a C team that did quite well at C. What do we know? Does anyone know anything about the Van Wert Fritters? I am not 100% sure, but let me know if you know anything. And let me see if I can exit out of this screen share here. Let me see here. So I can see comments as well, because I would like to see comments as I go. Oh, wait. Stay on page. Oh, duh. It's right here. Okay. I'm going to try to screen share away so that I can see comments as well. Let's see. They're always been around for a while, always good B and below. Okay, Cincinnati team, I believe. That's the Van Wert Fritters. That's an interesting name. I'm curious, what does that mean? I don't know what that is. I'd be interested to know. What are the Van Wert Fritters? Van Wert Fritter. I'm not going to get that right the whole season. Doesn't matter. New team, Conference B. Let me see if I share a specific screen so I can see comments as well. Let's see here. No, I think I just have to I know what I'm going to do. I have a plan. I have a plan. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to put the studio up as well because I can see your live comments as I go so we can find out some more about some of these teams, okay? Cool. So we'll kind of make this little hybrid screen. Hang on. Hybrid screen. Boom. All right, now we're good. Okay, very cool. So we got the Van Werk Fritters. Then we've got, this is interesting, there's Beachy Construction. Now, they're listed from our area, St. Louis, but there's not very many guys actually from St. Louis. Maybe one or two, mostly guys from Illinois. I saw on there. Recognize some guys that played last year at various different teams. And then it looks like there's some younger Amish players on this team as well. Beachy Construction Conference B team. That is a new team this year. Then we have EAS Sports, or EAS, I'm sorry, that is out of Colorado, B team. What's interesting is EAS must have a very fast finger as they are signed up twice. I don't think they have two men's conference B teams. I could be wrong. Been wrong before. We'll be wrong again. But I'm going to go with that that's one team, EAS. So I'm going to go out on a crazy limb and say that EAS is one team. So that is a fourth team. Then we've got, of course, Competitive Edge. Gone over that before. Competitive Edge now in Major, of course, this year, and have added some weapons. They're going to be a force this year as well. So, okay, so that is our first four teams. Okay, and this is just an alphabetical order. I don't even know if it's in alphabetical order. I don't know. I have no idea what order this is in, honestly. Then we have LNS Glass / MAJ, and it's not really an LNS Glass team because essentially I think they're just kind of using the LNS Glass brand. It's really MAJ, but that team loaded up for A this year, and we look forward to playing them as well. But that's a brand new team. It's not really LNS. I think I recognized maybe maybe three guys off of LNS Glass from last year, and then it's a mix of players from other teams. So it's really a brand new team called LNS Glass MHA, but that is going to be an A team this year. Then we've got Roof X Revolution. That is, of course, the old quote-unquote Silverbacks, Rock Run, now adding Ryan McClanahan and Mooch. That's going to be very interesting, right? I'm saying Rich, who's the LNS sponsor, but yes, and Rich is a good dude. Had a great long conversation with my dad this year at the Evansville Duel, so that's cool to see them back because I think at one point LNS Glass was not going to be back this year, so kind of cool to see them back. Roof X Revolution, that's the double A team now of you've got the Silverbacks, Rock Run, they were called last year, mixed with Ryan McClanahan and the one and only Mooch. And that's going to be really interesting. That team's going to be interesting because, obviously Rock Run last year, a lot of success. And the year before, they've always had a lot of success. Mooch and Ryan McClanahan had a lot of success. But what happens when you start kind of mixing chemistry there? I don't know. Meaning between, a bunch of guys that kind of came up together, all playing in the same community, all around the same age, right? Very young dudes running around out there. And what happens when you add in a couple of a veteran and then you got like a mega veteran? That's Mooch, right? So that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. We don't know how anything is going to play out this year, including for us. But that is going to be very, very interesting. Someone says that Rock Run has a lot of pressure on Ben Dunn right now, too, I think. So that's interesting as well. So, again, a different formulation. And sometimes, I've said this from sports, I've been playing and coaching sports since I was, yay big. And sometimes you don't know how that chemistry is going to go. And sometimes it's a thing of beauty and sometimes it's not when you start kind of messing with formulas or playing with things or creating new teams. So Roof X Revolution AA. We've got Cheap Suits. I know they've been playing very well. They're A team. They've been playing very well in the preseason. And it looks like they added a few guys this year looking to improve. Always the joke has been that Cheap Suits is if they played us every game last year, they'd be wins in every single division. We just did not play well against them, and they played awesome every single time, like every single time. And it was one of those last year. So hopefully that'll be a little bit different this year. Okay, like You guys could go ahead and give us your worst game. I'm not going to cry about it, right? So Cheap Suits Men Conference A, West Point, who's bump up to Double A this year. With our good friend Alicia and the boys there at West Point. Saw a couple roster changes, nothing too crazy over there at West Point this year, but they were a very solid team that, they'd be the first to tell you did not have a great World Tournament here, but we're very solid the entire year. And, Alicia's going to, reload and be ready to go in 2023. So that's West Point. Texas Legends, I think, is a team that accidentally clicked the button, and same with Naturals Softball. I do not think that those are two AA teams. Someone could correct me on that if I'm wrong, but based on my little clicking around, I saw who the managers are, and I don't really know who they are. I think that might be a couple of misclicks. I think they actually are senior teams or something. So those are not, I don't believe, conference teams. Okay, so really right now I'm at 8 through these first couple pages. Okay, and I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty darn sure. So we're at 8. Okay. Now let's go to our next page here. We've got Smash, the Lodge Poker Club out of Texas. They've been around for a while. Smash has been around for a while. We actually played them at Worlds a couple years ago when we were both non-conference B teams. So they're coming in as an A team. Okay, so that's really interesting. Coming in as an A team, looking to compete this year. So Smash, the Lodge Poker Club. Don't know a ton about them other than we've played them before and know a few guys that have played, but they're coming in this year as an A team. We've got the Nats. So the Nats are a long-time team out of Arkansas, and we know that. Now, this is interesting. Someone is saying, and by the way, let me know the rumors, thoughts, questions, other teams. Someone is saying here, Smash will not be in the conference. I don't believe. Sponsors get it together. That's what has been said on here. Don't shoot the messenger. Just reading the comments. No idea. I don't know who the sponsors are, whatever it might be. But someone says that seems to change daily. So I don't know any behind the scenes of them, but that's just, may as well explain the rumors here. Nats, long-time team out of Arkansas. I remember they were C for a few years there, have done very well there. Now stepping up, Men Conference B, the Nats. All right, got it. It's okay. It's B Mills who's telling me that. I got you. It's because on Facebook, if you're in the group, you have to click this permission thing. Let me see this. I can get it for you. I'm going to post this in the Facebook real quick. Hang on. You guys will be able to see me. It's going to be like super meta. And then if you click this, then you can give permission. I can see your name from the Facebook group. So hang on one second. Let's put that in here. Oh, it's Brandon. Okay. All right, Mr. Brandon Miller. Yeah, we're trying to, oops, let me see if this is right. We're trying to censor you, Brandon. We're doing our best. That's the plan. Hang on. Oop, chat. Hang on. Let me make sure I get that right. There we go. That should hopefully be the right link there for you, Brandon. But yes, I always appreciate your intel, Brandon. Always good thing to hear. So if you got more of it, be sure to let me know here as we roll along. So let's get back to where we were at here. Boom. Okay, so we don't know much about Smash. Nats, again, kind of a long-time team, first time playing conference coming out of Arkansas. Seminoles, so playing AA this year, or at least listed there. Relatively similar team from last year. We've got Toby Letex added. That's obviously a good play there. So Seminoles coming in this year. I know they're looking to have a big year this year. Classic Glass from California. Now, what's interesting is I've seen some Classic Glass players on some other teams throughout here. So I don't really even know who's on Classic Glass. I went to the team page, and they actually do not have a roster. Watch it be. No, there's no roster right now. So I don't really know who's on Classic Glass. But, that's a long-time conference team that's been around for a long time and done very, very well. So, I'm sure they're going to reload and do what's necessary here in 2023. Then we have one of our buddies over here, John with Chick-fil-A. And, John Natoli, and they're always going to be ready to go. AA team. It's interesting. The guys and I were talking about this morning a little bit, is The AA division this year is going to be pretty wide open and interesting, I think. Last year, no offense to the other teams, there were other solid teams in there, but it was a one-horse race towards the end of the year with competitive edge. It was like everyone's like, okay, competitive edge is just smashing everybody and they're going to do it, which they did. This year, so far, there's some very good teams in here, trust me, but like it'll be very interesting to see what the AA race is going to look like here in 2023. And I want to say there's going to be another team eventually coming here. And you guys on the rumor mill can let me know on this one that, there's a lot of guys that I haven't seen on rosters yet. The Jason Branches, some people like that. I know that there was, the last I heard was that they were creating this kind of for AA team. Don't know about that. I guess we'll find out soon. But Chick-fil-A will always have a solid team. And I think AA is going to be a very interesting division this year and bigger than in the past. Bigger, which is cool. Sports Reach, speaking of AA, another team that is completely real. They have a very different changing of complexion of their peeps. And so I think that's going to be interesting as well to see how they do. But they definitely have an improved team this year for Sports Reach. So, okay. So that was 4 and 4. That's 8. We added 6 more. That's 14 for those that are counting at home. So far, 14 conference teams that are signed up, unless I cannot count, which is very, very possible. Okay. Then you've got Straight Play, who's playing A out of California. Then you've got a combination. You've got a TG Brand, LSR, Cornerstone combination team that's going to be very interesting. They're playing A, and they're in the conference for this upcoming year. Canada West, I believe that's a misprint right there. They were a team at the Challenge Cup. I don't believe that they're a conference team coming in from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, but they are listed as of it now. Brandon is saying, now I can see you, Brandon, so I know it's you. Haha. Everyone is trying to get their roster points sorted out. I would imagine 5 or 6 AA teams either sign up or reclass, then 4 or 5 major teams. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Dirty Vegas, that's a team that's reloaded a lot this year. They have a lot of the addictive guys from last year. So I think that they're going to be a very solid team. Dirty Vegas playing A this year. I'm sure we're going to play each other a lot of times. That's going to be really interesting. So Dirty Vegas back and reloaded again with a lot of those addictive who had a very, very good year last year. So I expect Dirty Vegas to do well. Then you've got the men's B champions. True, they're back now with an A next to their name. So True will be in action this year, coming back as an A team. Great run last year, of course, winning B. JBL D1 Tailgaters, that's one of the loaded AA teams that we know. Brandon Miller says Dirty Vegas for Siteman in the A finals. Book it. I like it, Brandon. I like it. I like your thought. JBL D1 Tailgaters, that's another big-time AA team. Very good. A lot of guys that did very, very well at the Challenge Cup as well on that team. So I expect them major, major, major damage in that AA division. Major damage in that AA division. So that is, let me do my counting here. 5 additional teams are 14. We're at 19, okay? And I got one more, so we're at 19 as of right now. And if I go to my final page, there's going to be 4 more on this final page. So as of now, there's 23 teams. I expect more teams to be showing up, right? I don't see Primetime. I don't see Monster, whatever they're going to be in the major division, right? I don't see a few other teams that we know, but I don't know about the unknown, right? We've got Resmondo right here. Of course, you guys might have heard of Resmondo. You've got Epic. They're going to be back here. They were a B team last year and now going to A this year. And you've got MPT Rentals, of course, the major champs, and they're going to be, loaded again this year in major. And I'm sure Resmondo is reloading this year. And then, of course, your favorite team, Siteman Pure. There we go. So as of right now, there are 3 teams. Okay. Now there's obviously going to be more. I'd be interested to hear in the rumors about what's going on. And what's interesting is that DW and I we're talking about this kind of towards the end of last year, but there's going to be a good percentage of players played conference last year, 2022, that are not going to be playing in 2023 for various reasons. Might be that there's no team for them. Might be they retired. Might be this or that. But if you look at it, there's a lot of teams that have not returned or combined, right? So, like, for example, Cornerstone, LSR, and TG Brand essentially becoming one team. That's 3-1, right? Some of these other teams are big combination teams, right? There's teams that we know that aren't coming back, and their players are distributed in various places. The Precisions, the Premiers. There's teams like that as well. So it's going to be very interesting. Bay Area Legends, I don't see on it. I'm sure Bay Area Legends is going to have something going on. I don't know what, but I'd expect them to be on there, obviously. Late signer upper. Yes, I've heard Aristotle is playing, but I don't see them on here. But that's a good rumored on it. Aristotle's been talked about playing. Do you guys know on Aristotle? Are they going B or A? Does anyone know about that? And yes, we already talked about Beachy's Construction B Conference. They were on the first page. So 23 teams so far. Okay, Aristotle will be A. Okay, yep, and of course, Bay Area will have a team. I've heard that as well. But what's interesting right now, if I go right here to conferenceuSSA.com, and let's take a look here at 2022 men's standings. Okay, and I want to take a look at this. Right now, we've got 23 teams. We are obviously going to have more. There's going to be a Bay Area. I'm assuming there's going to be a prime time. I'm assuming there's going to be another major team. I'm assuming there's going to be another AA team because just based on the amount of guys that haven't signed up, right? But what's interesting is that last year, the season started, keyword started, 45 teams. They only lost officially one, which was Slugger, which then kind of revamped into that kind of cornerstone thing last year in a cornerstone. But if you look here, there was 45 teams, and right now they've got 23. There's no doubt this year is going to be smaller, tighter, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. There's not going to be a million teams. I don't know how many we get to on the final day. Do we get to 30 something? I don't know, right? But if you look at this, Slugger, no longer around. Nitro Circus B, they're no longer around. MIS, no longer around. RVCG, no longer around. We don't know about Bay Area B. TLC Homes, no longer around. Lund Mortgage has a team, but are they not playing conference? I don't know about that. I'll have to reach out to those guys. I saw playing in Arizona. Maybe some of our Arizona squads, maybe Brent can shed some light on that one. So I don't know about Lund Mortgage this year, if they're just playing or if they play in conference. LSR combined, Dirty Vegas, they're in. We are in. BTR, they no longer have a team. Epic is in. Meritran no longer has a team. I don't think Cash House has a team. Nightmare does not have a team. Hubs does not have a team. True has a team. I have not heard anything about the Denver Stars. Lund is conference, Brandon Miller is saying. So count them in as well. And that's a good group of guys. Glad that they're conference. Good group of guys. Look forward to playing them this year. So that's good to know. Haven't heard anything about the Denver Stars. Don't really know what's going on there. Brandon's saying conference participation will be down due to the economy. Very unfortunate because there will be lots of players sitting at home. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying count your lucky stars players now that are on teams, but yeah, it's going to be down. And I agree with the economy and also the condensed schedule, which I like. Cash House is JBL. Someone said, okay, so that's all combined in there. Okay, got it. Stars are saying local, so there won't be a Stars team. Okay, but what I'm saying is with the condensed schedule as well, there's no matter where you're from in the United States, you're going to be traveling more. And so with that, plus the economy, plus the situations, you're going to have it where it's going to be whittled down to, the few, that's what I think we're looking at. So Stars, no. Straight Play, they've already signed up. Cheap Suits, yes. Cornerstone, again, is part of that combination. Sports Reach, yes. It's like a new Sports Reach. TG Brand is part of that combination. I don't know much about Anarchy. Maybe someone could shed some light on Anarchy. They won a World. The joke has been that they were the top finishing AA team in A Worlds last year, Anarchy. Don't know what they're up to this year. Not really sure. If anyone has intel on Anarchy, let me know. Seminoles, they're back. Premier, no longer with us. I don't believe Cut 4 is no longer with us. LNS Glass is now the LNS Glass MAJ. Primetime has not signed up yet. I'm assuming they'll be in. Addictive is no longer around. Ball Forward is part of that combination I heard. I don't know if that's like a Bay Area. Ball Forward, something left, right, backwards, upside down, divided by 2. I'm not really sure. But Ball Forward is not a team as far as I know. And we talked about before, Bay Area will have something. Rock Run is now the got their new name. West Point, yes. Classic Glass, yes. Have not heard a thing about S&E or Dan Smith. Have not heard a thing about S&E and Dan Smith. So I can't tell you anything there. Nitro Circus has, of course, a AA team. There's no Proton team. There's no Precision. Yes to Chick-fil-A. Yes to Competitive Edge. Yes to Rismondo. Yes to MPT. No to Smash It at the top. And Monster, I've yet to see sign up, but I'd assuming, I'd assume that they're going to be a very good major team once again. S&E will be back. S&E will be back. Confirmed. Okay, got it. So, as you look at this, let me go back. I'm going to cut my screen off here so I can go back and chat with y'all. It's a very interesting landscape for this year. It's going to be very interesting to see what the breakdown is, where it is. I just hope that people are classified in the right spots. I hope that, rules are adhered to, but that's all, time will tell, all that kind of stuff. So, we're starting to get that itch. We're getting close to the season, my friends. We are getting close to the season. So exciting here. I appreciate Brandon dropping a lot of intel. I appreciate you guys all dropping intel as well. And, it'll all take shape over the next few weeks. I was excited yesterday. It was a really nice day in St. Louis, about 60 degrees. Had a good chance to go out with Matt Petrov and hit some balls I hadn't hit in a while. It was just fun. It was like, you remind yourself about what's fun. You go out there, hit some balls, have some fun, and I'm looking forward to the season. So on the way out, folks, as we roll here, a big thank you again to Siteman Cancer Center for their sponsorship of this episode. You can get, by the way, Siteman gear at SitemanSoftball.com/store, but don't capitalize the S in store. It takes you somewhere. I can't figure that one out. Leave that for another day. SitemanSoftball.com/podcast. And also coming soon, whether it's next week, the week after, or maybe the week after that, I'm not sure. We're going to have a new segment, new kind of part of the show called Topic of the Week. So, for example, this week, the topic of the week would have been how many teams are going to be, and let's go through them. So we're going to have a Topic of the Week segment that's going to be brought to you by another major sponsor. So that's going to be cool stuff coming in soon. All right, folks, that is it for me here. Roland, I appreciate your insights. I appreciate you all being here. Even Brandon Miller, once we got him and got his name on the screen. All right, talk soon. Bye.